So let me get, is email the big daddy of your channels, like for marketing?
Absolutely. I freaking love email.
Are you talking about like 30% of your, like, or 50% or 80%? Like what?
Well, it's less than that. So we're talking more like 30% of revenue, something like that. But I love email.
So you can send an email out and generate sales.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every single email we send out, generates sales.
Wow. Okay. So email is good. How do you approach it? Like, well, if I get a Fringe Sport email and I've been on the list for 3 months, is it like buy dumbbells, or what does it say?
So right now it's more promotional focused than I would like our list to be, and than the list was pre-pandemic. But one of the things that you mentioned right now is the market is still up and people are still opening our emails. They're still clicking, they're still buying. So the emails are relevant to our list. And so we're a little bit more promotional now than we used to be. But pre-pandemic, we were very, very content focused. And so what we did is we had the schedule of, we've got a few buyer personas of people who like to shop for us. And then we do some brainstorming. What would if I were this person, what would I love to receive in my email? Because I'm sure that you're on email lists that you love to be on. Like, can you shout some out? What are a few ones that you just love the emails?
The hustle is of course one. What I helped kind of write. I love a bunch. There's Biology S. Basically the ones that send me good information.
Yeah.
And it's not trying to like buy. It's like, hey, check out all this cool stuff. Those are the ones I really love.
How about Chubbies? You on Chubbies email list?
I wasn't wearing my Chubbies right now, but I do have them on their email list, and I collect their emails because they're so good.
I freaking love Chubbies list. I'm also on the Hustle list. There's another list called the Morning Chalk Up that's within our space, and that's a really great list. So one of the things I try to talk to, because now I've got employees who are managing most of our email, and I try to talk to them and I say, hey, these are the email lists that I love. They don't have to be the same ones that you love, but sign up for some email lists and then start delving into yourself and figuring out, why do I love to read these emails? Then look at our buyer personas and try to put yourself in their shoes and try to make our list similar to that, to where it's a joy for them to receive it in their email and then open it up and read it. So to mention a few other things that we did pre-pandemic when we were much more content focused than we are now, is we would do a workout of the week. And we would invite like a bunch of our different, so we would announce it on email, but then follow it on social so that people could read it in their email. And it was a Saturday morning thing. And so it's like, hey, do this workout sometime over the weekend and then post on our socials your time or your weight lifted or how you did, and trying to bring the community in as far as that goes. Another 2 email content pieces that were really popular for us is we would have our LCG. LCG is local community gym. It's like your little, I know you said that you love Squatch here in Austin, Texas. So that's an LCG, a local community gym. So we would focus on one local community gym per week, and we would do an interview with the owner. Why is your gym different? Because, for example, I go to Atomic Athlete to train, despite the fact that I own a gym at Fringe and I own a awesome garage gym. There's a reason that I go to Atomic. It's different than other gyms here in Austin. But I know some people love Central Athlete. Some people love CrossFit Central. Some people love CrossFit Cedar Park. There's Outsiders here on the east side. That's amazing. Squatch is awesome as well. So there's some reason that those gyms are awesome. And we try to talk with their owners and figure out what that reason is, and then share it with our community, which is all throughout the US. And so we're focusing on gyms all throughout the US. So that was one piece of content that did really well for us. Another piece of content is we would do Garage Gym of the Week. And so we would poll our clients and say, hey, who wants to show, the world or the Fringe Sport email list your garage gym and talk about it a little bit? And one of the things that we got feedback from our clients that they really loved is that we would feature people who didn't only have Fringe Sport gear. Because the reality is, many people, we got a lot of awesome people that only outfit with Fringe. And if that's you out there listening, yeah, you're my type of person. No, I'm just kidding. But we're good for whatever. Like, who has, whatever gear you have that's helping you get to a goal. And so we would talk with them, interview them about what's their goal, why do they have the equipment that they have, is there a particular favorite piece of equipment? So for example, we've got a sandbag sitting here. A sandbag is one of my favorite pieces of equipment, and I love to talk to people about why I love sandbag training and why they might move it into their regimen. But it's not for everybody.
Do you ever, crazy idea, third world gym feature. So you go to like a village and they have like instead of like a 50-pound bag of sand, they're just like, oh, we have actual bags of sand just laying around. I always love those videos of like village people, or there's like a bodybuilder that comes from like a small village in Russia or something like that, and he's using like, you know, milk jugs and like weird stuff like that. Well, I imagine it captivates people the same as home offices. Mm-hmm. Home offices, I remember like when especially when the pandemic hit, everyone's like, home office stuff. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, so I want to call something out there. I had mentioned before that garage gyms started mainstreaming in the pandemic. One of the really interesting things that we saw is pre-pandemic, most garage gyms were what I called pain caves. So pain, you know, it hurts, like you go there and you suffer, you sweat, and you come out stronger. During the pandemic, we saw this rise of what I call man cave garage gyms, or like rate my setup garage gyms. Because pre-pandemic, I had never seen anybody go on Instagram, take a picture of their garage gym and be like, rate my setup. And to me, it was so crazy that it caused me like a, like a crisis of confidence at that point. Or I was like, what are we doing, man? If somebody's just outfitting their garage gym and they just want people on Instagram to like, you know, do it for the likes, I was like, oh boy, I'm not in love with this. But I eventually came around. I'm like, hey, I get it. You can build an amazing body in a pain cave or a man cave. So now my whole thing is use it. As long as you use it, I'm cool.
So previously, like, so we do email stuff to like do promotions and everything. And like, what is the biggest month or season that you see? I'm assuming for gyms, I know it's like January, right? Everyone's got the new bod. You got the New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose weight. Is there like a specific season? This is a seasonal business, I'm assuming?
It is seasonal. And what we see actually is Black Friday, Cyber Monday is just massive in this space. Like Black Friday through Cyber Monday is worth about a month's worth of sales for me. And I think just kind of in space, because I think that people have got this idea of January coming and they're to some extent buying for themselves. They're to some extent buying for gifts, and it's just kind of a buying season. Mm-hmm. So that's a really big high season. Then of course you've got January, especially early January, where you've got the New Year's resolution crowd. Then you've got late spring as another busy season, because people are starting to think about summer and they want to get that summer body. And so they start doing that. And then in the summer, we actually get a little lull. Like January, what am I saying? July, there's a little bit of a lull. And I think people are generally speaking like getting outdoors and doing stuff and thinking less about their garage gym. Then August starts to come around. People start thinking about school again. I know like teenagers are, you know, training for football and stuff like that. And I think adults who have kids are like, hey, my kids are going back to school. I'm going to have a little more free time. Maybe I'll outfit the gym.
So so let's say it's one of those lull months, right? Mm-hmm. And you're fired up the old email marketing stuff, and you're just like, what do we sell? Like how do you approach that? Because sometimes, like for example, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we know what to do. It's a discount time, right? You offer a big ass discount, people buy. It's pretty simple. But then if it's like a random August, like right now or something, you're just like, how do you get people to buy? It's not the end of Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. There's no real reason right now. What do you do to drum up sales in those weird months? Or do you even try?
Well, yeah, we definitely try. Sometimes more successfully than others. Yeah. But what we try to do is we try to think about, hey, what are some trends that we can kind of piggyback on, or what's going on? You know, weirdly, Texas does Texas does a tax-free weekend in preparation of the kids going back to school. And we always get hit up by local customers, because we have a retail shop here in Austin. We always get hit up by local customers saying, hey, are you guys doing tax-free weekend? Now, the reality is tax-free weekend is for like shirts and shoes, not barbells, but we usually run a sale piggybacking on that where we eat the tax. So we basically like make it a tax-free weekend for local. But then beyond that, we try to key into various different things. For example, there's a workout, this is not late summer, but early summer, for Memorial Day. It's called Memorial Day Murph, and it honors a Navy SEAL who was killed in Afghanistan. The workout for Memorial Day Murph requires you to wear a weight vest, 14 pound for females, 20 pound for males. And so we always key into that and say, hey, this is a great way to test your fitness and to kind of honor the fallen and like think a little bit about what your freedoms cost, and here's a weight vest that we sell that you can use with that. That can be a little, we're trying not to, be like, hey, this dude died, buy a weight vest. So you have to handle that a little bit delicately, but I think that we do, and we honor somebody's memory while at the same time, selling his product.
I like that. Piggybacking on other trends. I actually never really thought of that. Well, thank you. That's a little idea I wrote down over here.